Yes, I'm Danny Spanks. Yes, it's a dog blog at crab.com. And of course, it's brought to you by Critters Without Litters, Kern County's most trusted and affordable spay-neuter clinic. Look them up online at critterswithoutlitters.org. However, as you can tell, this dog blog is a little different. For the first time ever, I'm not at the Kern County Animal Shelter on Fruitvale. I'm wearing the t-shirt and everything, but for this dog blog, I got to take it on the road. Headed up north, about 30 minutes on Freeway 99, went up to McFarland and met with Dennis McNamara. He's in charge of the McFarland Animal Shelter. He's been on the job for about 6 months, and he wants to do everything he can to get the wonderful dogs up McFarland adopted. Dennis loves all the dogs. He knows them all personally. He spends as much time with them as he possibly can give you the backstory on any of the dogs. And you're going to see a lot of Dennis in this dog blog. He's a big guy with a bald head and a Santa Claus beard. He loves the dogs and also wants to spread the word about some of the other needs they have at the McFarland Animal Shelter. Also, real quick, a shout out to Dr. Stout, who's a veterinarian out of Delano, and he helps with all the medical needs for the dogs at the shelter in McFarland. So there are currently 13 dogs at the McFarland Animal Shelter, and you're about to meet 6 of them. And like I said, you'll see a lot of Dennis McNamara. So here comes Dennis, and here comes the puppy dogs. Up first, this is Matson. He's about 3 years old and an owner surrender. And you'll see with Matson and all the other dogs on this dog blog, they get so excited when they finally get out of their kennel and get to spend time with a human and get the love and attention and playtime they deserve. As it stands right now, the McFarland shelter is run by just 3 people, and they don't have the manpower to give the dogs all the playtime and attention they deserve. However, there are only 13 dogs at the shelter at the moment, and that means that just one new volunteer could make a huge difference. Even if it's just 1 or 2 hours a week, you can make the dogs' lives a whole lot happier and make the lives of the staff much easier. So if you're one of those people who loves animals, you want to help, but you can't adopt one, volunteering is the way to go. You get to spend time with the dogs and help make their world a better place. So if you live in McFarland, Delano, Early March, Shafter, Wasco, any of the areas north of Bakersfield, I am talking to you. However, if you live down in Bakersfield, they'd love your help as well, and it's just a quick 30-minute drive north on the 99 to get there. Our second dog is Angel. She's been here since she was a puppy. She's only about a year old. She wound up at the shelter when her owner was arrested and taken to jail. But don't let that scare you off. Angel was well taken care of, and she wasn't abused or neglected. She's just a young, happy, and affectionate dog. She just wants to be loved and played with. She's also best friends with another dog at the shelter named Shazam, who you'll see in just a few minutes. 5 of the 6 dogs you'll see are pits. If you didn't know it already, it's extremely hard to get a pit adopted or rescued. Unfortunately, most rescues won't take pits, not because of the dogs themselves, but because they're so hard to get adopted. Too many people still judge pits by their looks and believe all the lies and myths about pits that have been spread over the years. Pits actually make excellent pets. They're extremely loving and playful and loyal, and when tested for adoptability, they score higher and better than almost any other type of dog. Up next, this guy was one of my favorites. This is Cash. He's a shepherd mix. He's about a year and a half old. And just like Angel and Matson, Cash was so happy and excited to get out of his kennel and meet someone new. That's what all these dogs crave: love, affection, and attention. As I'm sure you've noticed, the kennels in McFarland are outdoors, but thanks to Judy Donnell and the Friends of the Kern County Animal Shelters Foundation, they all have insulated dog houses to help protect them from the elements. This black and white guy is Teddy. He's already been fixed, and he's been at the shelter for about a year. The McFarland shelter has a very low euthanasia rate. In fact, it's rare for a dog to be put down here. Most of the dogs wind up being sent to no-kill rescues in other parts of California, the majority of which is through Teresa Walker from No Paws Left Behind. The bad news is that the dogs that don't get rescued or adopted, which are almost always pits, stay here for a very long time. All the dogs you're seeing on this video have been at the shelter for at least 6 months. Some of them, like Teddy, for a year, and some for even longer. That's why Dennis is trying so hard to find loving homes for these wonderful dogs that have been at the shelter for far too long. Now this guy is Spike, and of all the dogs I met in McFarland, I have to say this guy was my favorite. I think it's because of the way we met.
I just want some love. You're just a big baby. You're just a big baby. That's all you are. Yeah, such a good puppy dog. Who's a good puppy dog?
Spike is 3 years old, and he's been at the shelter for about 6 months. Spike looks like a tough guy, but he is just a big baby. He is a sweetheart. The story with Spike is the same as all the other dogs you've seen. Honestly, from a personality and behavior standpoint, they're all the same dogs. They're all friendly, and they're happy, and they're playful, and they're excited. They are not mean or aggressive at all. And when it comes to adopting one, it's just a matter of personal preference. Do you want a black dog or a tan one? Do you want a 1-year-old or a 3-year-old? Do you want a male or a female? But when it comes to their actual behavior and demeanor, they are all just wonderful, and they all just want to have a home. And finally, we have Shazam. Shazam has been at the shelter longer than any of the other dogs. He's been at the shelter for almost a year and a half, since July 2015. Dennis and the others from the McFarland shelter just adore him. But I know if there's just one dog from this video they would like to see adopted, it would be Shazam. By the way, the McFarland Animal Shelter currently has an opening for a full-time animal control officer. Once that person is found, they'll play a very important role at the shelter and throughout the city. For more information about this full-time animal control officer position, contact Dennis McNamara at 661-792-2121.